Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone here.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Mataji.
Pranams,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji. Pranam.
Dandavat pranams, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So let us start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagatya Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnananjane Shalakaya Shakshur Unmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Namayyam Tadati Swapadandikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopika Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanushate Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpadarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavade Pashyata Deshadharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mugam karoti vachalam bangam lingayate girim, yat kripatam aham vande paramananda madhavam, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. So, Hare Krishna everyone. Today we are here to discuss on the that is the 13th chapter from sloka 21 to 40. So what is actually this chapter related to? So we should have, as we know, Bhagavatam is not in the sequential or a chronological way. The sequences are like with respect to the time and place. In this chapter, Vidura is returning back home after his yatra. That means taking the Gyan session from Maitreya Maharishi, wherein on the completion of his yatra, he was about to take darshan of the Lord, wherein Lord already descended to his abode. So which he comes to know through Uddhava and Maitreya Rishi. And Uddhava, being younger than Vidura, so he has recommended to take the that is knowledge. That means whatever the knowledge has to be, it has to be taken from the higher person. So that's why Maitreya Rishi being more aged than Vidura. So in that way, from the higher authority, he has been advised to take the knowledge which has been given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So in that context, actually, so I think we'll be studying in the upcoming cantos, third canto and fourth canto. Most of the conversations are between Maitreya Rishi and Vidura, wherein Vidura will be asking question like how Sukadev Goswami, Parishit Maharaj conversation is going on. So a similar way the questions are being asked by Vidura to Maitreya Rishi, and he also used to explain all the third canto and fourth canto, Duru Maharaj lineage and Prithu Maharaj stories in fourth canto. Like that it will be going on. And on completion of that only, Vidura is coming back to the Hastinapur. And then after a long time seeing Vidura, everyone are actually so delighted to receive him, and then giving the Hasan to sit, and then he has been given so much respect. All the that is who are there in the palace, that is the entire family people are there to receive him, and then he has been given to take rest, and then given that is bath. After bath, he has been given food. All those things happens in the first 20 slokas. It has been taken care. And then in continuation of that, Yudhishthira Maharaja was putting questions. He wants to know about Krishna because he was having a that we will be studying in the upcoming chapters in this canto only, wherein he'll be seeing anomalies and all. So he had a doubt. So based on that, he will be asking. But before that, even Narada Maharishi also will be coming at the end of this chapter actually. So after Vidra leaves without informing the Yudhishthira and the others in the family, Dhritarashtra followed by Gandhari and then followed by Vidura. All three actually leave the palace in the without informing anyone. So here the Gyan session will be given by Vidura to the Dhritarashtra. That part only it's a very nice discussion we can have how a person should be and how a person should not be there. So wherein Vidura was not in speaking the truth, he was able to give all the whatever the questions answers give for the questions raised by Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was able to give except about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he purposely actually didn't speak about that because those it becomes a unpalatable information for Yudhishthira Maharaj, because for a good people, for a pious people, such type of information informing directly is not the right way. So in that manner, he won't give that. He purposely avoids answering that question. Wherein here directly he will be chastising Dhritarashtra. So still you are staying here, still you are fond of this materialistic attachments. So in the way he will be chastising Dhritarashtra in such a manner. So he is giving the knowledge. At least at the end of the life, let Dhritarashtra find some mukti. For that purpose, he want to elevate the fallen soul in that way. That is a compassionate of a devotee. So a devotee is more compassionate. So we can see the Vidura's way of expressing the things here, and then the scoldings only we can tell. It's a chastisement. So let us start with this sloka. पितृ भृधार सुहृत् पुत्रा हतस्ते विगतं वयम् आत्मा च झरया ग्रस्ता परागेयो उपाशशे. So in this translation, so he is chastising actually. So Vidura is chastising Dhritarashtra. Your father, that is Vichitravirya. Your brother, that is Pandu. Well-wishers, that means who took part in the Mahabharat, that is the war. So in that war, many people have died. That is friends or the neighboring countries. All those people have died actually. And sons, his own sons, 100 people and grandsons, all are dead and passed away. So you yourself have expended the major portion of your life. That means he has been in this attachment for these materialistic things. And then his whole life is towards that only. The greed and then the enviousness, all those things. Because of that, even though his son has been doing wrong things, he has been never been correcting him. So even when Draupadi has been made that is a hero from in the assembly, still he didn't stop that. He being in the higher position, he didn't speak one word also. So even that he has become aged, and in his body also is not not that much cooperative for him. That's what here Vidura is actually is giving a reference here. Your body is now overtaken by invalidity. That means he has grown very old, and or you are living in the home of another. So that means after he has given the throne, that means Yudhishthira Maharaj has been enthroned on the in the as a king in the as a king of that kingdom. So you are simply actually, it is like he has left that, and then he is no more having the ownership of that kingdom. So that means he is staying in the Yudhishthira's custody. So that's what here Vidura is speaking here. So he is pinpointing what are the things he has to be. See, when he was as a king, he has given all the troublesome. That is, he has acknowledged the troublesome given by Duryodhana. and then he never gave the righteous things to his brothers' sons. All those things he has, and he has acknowledged that. That means he has never made strict, and that is he didn't give punishment, or he never advised his sons not to do like that. So in a way, Pandavas has been brought up by Bhishma Deva and by the care. So that's the reason here now Vidura is chastising. So you have not been a good that means uncle to them, but still you are under their custody. The king reminded of his precarious condition. That is, it's a very unstable condition for him actually, being influenced by the cruel time. So the time is inevitable. So always time is inevitable. Today a person may be on the throne, and tomorrow, that based on the time factor, actually he may not be on that place itself. So it is like a always the changes has been, it will be moving forward. So we cannot stop the time. So we have to act as per the time and then the place and the situation. So by his past experience, he should have been brought more intelligent to see what has going to happen to his own life. He didn't have the vision actually. So he doesn't have the external vision also and the internal vision also. Both he doesn't. He is bereft of that. So here he's pinpointing his father died before he was born. Only father died, and then and his brother also died, and he became the king. Where and with the little children. So it was due to the care of kindness of the Bhishma Deva that they were properly brought up. So Bhishma Deva has brought up these both the Pandu Maharaj and the Dhritarashtra. So both of them he took care of them and then gave the military that is education, all those things all they have been trained by him only. So but Pandu again died again. This battlefield came, Kurukshetra, and all his sons and grandsons, everyone in the family died. So he should be on a great grief, but still he was enjoying the palace life. So that's the thing. It has been pinpointed by Vidura. Even in a normal life, in a recent way of what we are actually undergoing, one will not certainly stay with such type of family, but because of the over attachment by that is to the opulence and the position or the power, whatever it may be, Dhritarashtra still continued. So it is the dharma of Yudhishthira to take care of the uncle and aunt. But as a human, he actually once he has lost the kingdom, he shouldn't have stayed there. So that common knowledge actually he has not utilized there. That's what here Vidura is pinpointing. Despite all these reverses, what has happened in his family, he has enjoyed to the peak, and again it has gone down to the reversals. He thought that he would prolong his life more and more. So he is not striving to get ready for to leaving this world. That means anytime the death will happen, it is an inevitable only. But he is not prepared for that. What needs to be done at the time before the death. So as we have read many places in the Bhagavatam also, and even the classes of Bhagavad Gita, time is an inevitable. Like the death is also we cannot avoid. One cannot avoid. The whole life is the preparation, and death is the exam for us. That's what actually we have heard. So one must prepare for the exams. Without preparation, we will not be able to write the exam, and we cannot pass the exam. Krishna. So like that, Vidura wanted to point out what are the backlogs, or not the backlogs, what are the things he is lacking. So Dhritarashtra, that everyone has to protect himself by his action. There is no one by whatever the karmas we are doing, we have to protect. That means the purification process has to happen, and then he has to get that is come out of all the bad things, whatever what we are having, kama, krodha, lobha, moga, mada, makshra. So all those things one must come out of that. So for that he has to perform the actions in such a manner it will give the purification. So he has not done that way. So he has always been greedy and always on the material platform, never thought about the spiritual elevation itself. That part he has totally left out. One has to execute his duty faithfully, depending for the result on the supreme authority. This is a wonderful line actually. This is the phrase one must know from this purport actually where our Acharya has given. So this is the application of knowledge. So everyone, that means as we are aware of we are on the spiritual platform, we are actually chanting and performing the austerities and all. So it's our duty has to be done with faith. That means the faith in the sense without any expectation and only waiting for the response from the Supreme Lord. That is whatever the Lord's mercy we are going to receive, that one we need to accept. So one should actually perform the duty in that manner. Then only they will not get the binding to the outcomes of the karma, whatever they have done. So no friend at the time of death, not only at the time of death, in the relationship, in the current situation also, every relationship is like a give and take. Correct. Na? So we are always dependent on each other and then supporting each other in a positive way also or in a selfish way also. In either way, whatever it may be. So most of the times we'll be on the material platform means it is on the selfish way. What benefit I'll get if I perform this action to the others? So that's how the relationship. So here the love, affection, whatever we are doing is on the give and take policy. So no friend, no children, no father, no brother, no state and no one else can protect a person. So if Lord stands for us, I think we don't need any other person to stand for us. But if Lord only is not there for us, means we cannot be protected by anyone. So that one part actually we have to realize. So one should therefore seek the protection of the Supreme Lord. So one person should take the shelter of under the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord through the disciplic succession. That's very, very important. Wherein Dhritarashtra has been warned by the following words in the upcoming sloka. Anda puraiva bhadiro manda prajnascha sampratam vrishnadhanto mandagni saragha khapam udbhahan. So you have been, that's what in the previous sloka also whatever I mentioned. He was blind by the birth. So he doesn't have the knowledge also, that internal eye also he doesn't have, and then external also he doesn't have. And recently you have become hard of hearing. So he's chastising, Vidura is chastising. That means nothing is taking into the ears. Okay. And that means he's expressing the old age of Dhritarashtra. So your memory also is shortened, your intelligence also is disturbed. So you're lost, your liver is defective. That means he's coughing. So that's also he's telling. So you are coughing up mucus. So the symptoms of old age has been expressed by Vidura about the Dhritarashtra, and still he has not at all prepared for leaving this world. What is the preparation he has to make? He has not started only. So that's where he is coming there. The body is born, but it develops, stays, creates, like the face is different. Once born baby, and then the youth, and then the middle age, and the old age, and then by getting the disease, and then we are suffering, and then we leaving the body. All these things are happening actually here, and then it vanishes. But the foolish men want to make a permanent settlement. This is the one word we have to read. Always, we are always seeing anything will get a permanent solution for any issue here. That's what we are always trying. Like that, when we have a permanent settlement here, so that part is a big question mark for Dhritarashtra here. So then think that there is a estate, children, everything we are having, but everything is a temporary. At one fine day, we have to leave everything and we have to leave this place. So for that, so much endeavor we are making, and so much that is there is a in any relationship also we are arguing or whatever it may be. For the personal benefit we are doing that, and then end of the day, at one point of time, and the end of the life also, we may think sometimes, why I am suffering, have I done any mistakes, all those things, but still we will not recognize what mistake we have done. So that much what is that, ignorant we are. So for the perishable things we are always striving a lot than the imperishable things actually. That means whatever the spiritual activity we have to perform, that part we never strive for. That maybe at the old age we may come, and that time the body also will not be flexible to perform those things. It will not get adjusted. And still our mind will be thinking that, yes, I have to do this. So that's why we have got a very good platform here. Yes, a COVID batch. We are all belonging to the COVID batch, and then we started our chanting at the time of COVID only. And today, at least we are able to sit and listen to that patience. At least we have developed hearing and chanting. So it's a wonderful platform given by the mercy of the Vaishnavas here, and then one must utilize that. Okay, they've moreover here actually when the such foolish idea, that means uh, anchoring for and then performing, endeavoring for the that is material opulences and all that which is a temporary thing, they altogether forget and that they must give up this temporary body and take a new one again and to arrange for another term of society. So once we leave the body, the same family member will not be there. We'll be moving to another family as per our karmic reactions. And there also again we'll start striving for that is estate, children, society, country, all those things will be striving for that. We will forget their permanent identity and foolishly activate the impermanent occupations. Okay, that means the permanent identity being the soul, we'll totally forget. And what needs to be given to the soul, that we will never think about that. We only perform the actions for the bodily platform. So that satisfaction only we are always striving. So here sages like Vidura approach such foolish men to awaken them to the real situation. So one must approach the spiritual master. So that is very, very important in a life. So by taking the advice and guidance of the spiritual master, one will be able to achieve the goal of the life. So goal of the life is going back to the Godhead under the that is taking shelter under the lotus feet of the Lord. Moreover, Vidura was not a sadhu to satisfy the ill-gotten sentiment of Dhritarashtra. He was correctly, he is chastising. So a sadhu, the qualification of sadhu also will be seen in the upcoming slokas. So a sadhu should be, what are the qualification for a sadhu? Can anyone speak out?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Titikshva karunika suhrida sarvadeginam ajada shatratva sadavaha shantaha sadhu bhushanam. Compassion, karunika, titikshva, tolerance.
Yes, correct.
And suhrida sarvadeginam, friendly to everybody.
Correct.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, it should be more compassion actually. So where more compassion to give what actually? To give the advice on the or giving the right path for the living entity so that they can perform the devotional service. What is the ultimate goal in the life has to be taught. So that is the most compassionate part of a devotee. In Bhagavatam, many places, I think every canto, Narada Maharishi we are saying. Every canto, there is a conversation between a devotee and then the devotee becoming a Mahabhagavata also. In third canto, we are seeing Dhruva Maharaj. Fourth canto also we have, like that. Fifth canto we also we are having, like that it will be going on. So everywhere we are seeing the chief of such sadhus being a whom actually Narada Maharishi. So the sadhus are compassionate to elevate the fallen souls here. So again getting rotten here, coming back here, they don't like it actually. So they always will be working towards the ultimate goodness for the welfare of the people in general. So in such a manner, we are actually seeing the Vidura, he being a sadhu. So he is chastising the Dhritarashtra. Aha mahi hyashi jhanto jivitsa yatha bhavan bhima pavarjitham pindam adatte graha plavat. I think it is very directly speaking actually. You are a household dog, okay, and you are at the mercy of a Bhima. So Bhima has been given, when he was in young age, he has been given poison by Duryodhana, wherein Dhritarashtra also is aware of that. Correct, na? So now he is eating the food from the hands of Bhima. That's what he here chastising actually. Alas, how powerful are the hopes of a living being to continue his life. The type of life is no need to continue. That's what the verdict we can see here. You are living just like a household dog and are eating the remnants of food given by Bhima. So if you are giving poison to a person, and then if you are surviving at the mercy of such a person, means it is totally not acceptable. So that's why Vidura has been chastising Dhritarashtra as a household dog. So whatever the remnants they put, you are eating, and then you are residing. Still you are so attached to the palace life. The sadhu, these are the qualities of the sadhu. So you should never flatter kings or a rich man, and to live a comfortable life at their cost. So that's the quality of a sadhu, wherein here Vidura plays the same role. He has not come back to live comfortably here with Yudhishthira Maharaj, and then he is not actually glorifying the king to flatter him. So here he is chastising the king, the Dhritarashtra, that is earlier king, and sadhu has to speak, that is the straight, that is words in the sense he should speak a naked truth of the life. So that is the quality of a sadhu, even whether the opposite person, because he is going to speak for the welfare of the opposite person, so he has to tell the truth, otherwise it will be a problem actually. But where to whom he has to speak like that, that is very important actually. So if he is a pious person, like how the Pandavas, wherein Vidura didn't speak that unpalatable things and all, he didn't speak about the naked truth, he didn't tell about the supreme personality of Godhead, because they will be feeling bad, and then already Lord has left, and then they may feel very bad in separation with the Lord. So that's the reason he didn't tell about the truth. But here he has to speak about the naked truth to Dhritarashtra. So he is doing the same thing. Dhritarashtra is a typical example of an attached old man in the household way. So long, when he was when he was in the childhood only, he was very much fond of becoming the king. So he was always thinking about how many, that means how long the distance between, that is how many steps he has to get up and then sit in the throne, like that. So from childhood, even though he is not having the vision, he knows in and out of the palace how, where to walk and how to walk, all those things. That much conscious he was having. So he was very much attached to the that is kingdom, that is the position, power and all. So but now he has become pauper. That means after Yudhishthira has become king, he is nowhere having any control on the kingdom. So he is at the mercy of the Yudhishthira Maharaj actually living there. So wherein Bhima especially is mentioned here. Why it has been mentioned? Because personally he killed two prominent sons of Dhritarashtra. And Bhima only killed all the sons of Dhritarashtra, wherein the first two sons have been he loved a lot, that is Duryodhana and Dushasana. So because of that, he is in total grief. The two sons are very much dear, but still he is taking the food from the hands of a Bhima. How can a person be like that? That's what Vidura is speaking. Why was Dhritarashtra living there at the house of Pandavas? Because he want to continue his comfortable life. He doesn't want to go out and then get ready for his own goodness. So he is not at all ready. Even at the risk of all humiliation. A humiliation for good thing is that is in a sevas, whatever the thing for a good pious things, wherein Pandavas are undergone like that. So humiliation. They have undergone multiple times humiliation. So that is a valuable thing. Whereas here to survive there for the survival purpose, Dhritarashtra has been put into the very humiliation condition, even though Pandavas are not ill-treating, but that is the meaning actually. At the cost of humiliation, that means risk of humiliation, he is surviving there. So that's what Vidura is sensing, and then he is chastising here. The foolish man does not know what a particular term of bodily existence is awarded him to undergo. That's right, actually. And this world is a prison wherein we have entered this. Correct, na? We are entered this world, and then we are into this. That is the three modes of these miseries. We are always under that three modes, and this imprisonment in this body, the soul, it should be always in the constitutional position, but because of the ignorance and lord it over to the material nature, the soul becomes embodied in this body, and then he has been put into this condition here. So the foolish man doesn't know the real nature of the soul. So always they'll be thinking on the bodily platform, and then their actions are towards the needs of the body, not towards to the soul. So the real that is what is the what should be done uh, by the individual or by the human being in his life here after coming back, after coming here. What is the ultimate goal of the life? Realization. That vision the person who is in the ignorant mode will not have. So here one must strive for that, one must work towards that, then only they will be able to elevate in the spiritual path. Otherwise, they have to come back again and again based on the whatever the karmas they have done. So here a sadhu like Vidura is meant. So like Vidura being for the Dhritarashtra, we are also having our Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas giving us a vision on day-to-day basis in many classes actually, and then we are also hearing, and then so many realizations, and then what we have done mistakes we are able to understand. Right now, these are all the personal applications one must try by hearing all the Mahabhagavata story or the instructions from the Mahabhagavatas or from by the Supreme Lord. So all those things are the prayers to the Supreme Lord. One must actually strive for the purification of oneself. So that will lead to the self-realization. So one must utilize that actually. So this will be the application part of this particular sloga. Agnir nistrodhatascha garodharascha dushita hritam kshetram dhanam yesham tattai ashubhi kiyat. So there is no need to live a degraded life and subsist on the charity of those whom you try to kill by arson and poisoning, because they have been put into the that is what is that lac house, and wherein there's been fired. So the fire has been kept at that is at some point of time. Even I think everyone in the Hastinapur thought all Pandavas along with Kundi they have died. So that's what actually it has been situation made. So to that level, see, killing others and then for their personal benefit, and then they want to lead the opulence life. That is not the right way. That is a degraded life. And then that is one part of degraded life. Now, after doing all those things, Dhritarashtra still he is surviving under the that is the enemy. That means enemy is shelter. Correct? Na? Even though Pandavas never treated them as a enemy, but Dhritarashtra's side, they were treating Pandavas as an enemy only. From the enemy, they are actually getting all the benefits. So that is not required. You also insulted their married wife. So that is Draupadi, and observed their kingdom and wealth by doing the dice game. So here Varnashrama, the system of Varnashrama religion sets aside a part of one's life completely for the purpose of the self-realization. Correct? Now, 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas. One is 4 Varnas are for the material thing, and then 4 Ashramas for the spiritual elevation. Okay, so one must strive actually, and then when that is whatever Varna they belong, and then they have to take the responsibilities. Brahmanical qualities they have to elevate, and then Kshatriya has to take care of that is he has to give the shelter or a protection for all, and Vaishyas doing that is performing the business community, they should take care of the welfare of that means optimum pricing, and then like the Shudras has to support all the 3. So these Varnas, this is the material the platform, that is the Varnas we are speaking, whatever the job we are performing here. And by performing according to their own Varnas, they have to adhere the what is the ashramas also, wherein all 4 ashramas are being applicable to Brahmana, and then leaving sannyasa being applicable to the Kshatriya, and for Vaishya, rather is brahmacharyam and grahastha life, they have to, so they should be a grahastha, so not the grahamedi. Okay, so being so greedy and then so much immersed in the materialistic things, so one should strive for, and Shudra they should be taking only the grahastha life. So like that, they have to, the ultimate goal of following the Varnashrama is to make them one perfection. So they have to perfect their life. Okay, they have to perfect their life, which will elevate them in the spiritual path. So Vidura wanted to point out this and impressed upon him that it was better to die like his sons and then accept such humiliating charity. Wonderful thing. Actually, we all know this is a very common sense actually. Correct? Na? If someone is no, we are not liking or someone we don't like and then going and taking help and then standing under the shelter of them is no way advisable actually. Even though the person may be a very good person, ultimately we are under the humiliation. So such type of life, no need to survive. We can go at least raise some arms and then survive somewhere. That's the way a person will have. But he was a king and then still he is not understanding that. So that much ignorant being. That means ignorant in the sense he is so attached to the material things actually. Opulence. 5,000 years ago, there was one Dhritarashtra, but now there are, at present moment, there are Dhritarashtras in every home. Okay, Srila Prabhupada has given actually, because enviousness, from the comparison it starts, correct? Na? So one should not compare with anyone. So everyone's fate is unique, even in a family also. Everyone's fate is unique. There may be some common factors, but it will not have a same thing for anyone. The destination or whatever the path they are taking, it all depends on the unique person. That is a person's endeavor. So in every home, there is a Dhritarashtra. That means comparison. There may be fighting for a property. There may be fighting for a some other position, whatever it may be. Okay, in a political party, I want to come as a president or PM or whatever it may be, like that. So all these things are with some sins only. It will not be shown outside actually, but at the cost of one person, the other person will be benefiting. So that's how actually this current situation, the life is going on here. So ultimately, one should get out of such type of things by getting into the spiritual platform. So to stick to a family life to the end of one's human's life is the grossest type of degradation. So that means where we can go in the current situation, it's not advised also. Correct? No? It may be advisable during that time, maybe in the other yugas, but in that is in the Kali Yuga, we cannot leave the family. We have to stay back here. Correct? No? But let us get involved in the devotion service to the Lord. That is the only thing we can take it further by staying back in the family and then clearing, that is purifying oneself and then helping others, preaching the things, whatever we have heard, and then to the others for the benefit of the others. So like that, our mission is a preaching mission. So one must strive. Here 50 devotees are there. At least you should take the preaching profession. Those who are already there, well and good, but you are all in Bhakti Vaibhava and then you should become a great teachers in the future. That means after completing this, so to serve the Prabhupada's mission actually. Okay, so that's how the seva will go. Everyone should be occupied with the seva. So that will make you pleasant, or that is the real pleasure actually we'll be getting. When you start doing the seva, you'll be in the very different, that is you will feel that ekasti actually. So one must strive for the performing the sevas. तस्यापि तव देहोऽयं कृपणस्य जिजीविषो भरैते अनिच्छातो जीर्णो jaraya vasha shiva. So here it is being spoken, the comparison, kripana. So we know who is kripana. Kripana means the miserly person. So here Dhritarashtra has been compared to the miser person because he is totally bereft of the spiritual thing and totally inclined to the material thing. So he is on the bodily platform. So that's why a kripana or a miserly man has no estimation of his material body. So that means he is not evaluating what is the purpose he has come here, and then what is the purpose he has to live, all those things. What should be the action he has to perform for his future life? Nothing he have the visibility. So the opposite is the Brahmana. So a Kripana and a Brahmana are opposite thing. But a Brahmana has a true estimation of himself, the qualities. Correct? Na? So here the Brahmana should be considered in the Vaishnava qualities actually. And he knows he is not a body, he is a soul. and he has to work towards the welfare of the soul. That is the quality of a Brahmana. A Kripana having a wrong estimation of his material body, wants to enjoy here everything and then at most strength. And even in the old age, I think we can take Ajamila story, correct na? Ajamila, at the age of 80 also, he was having a younger kid. So to that level, the sense gratification, correct na? So if one is striving for the such a sense gratification, utilizing entire strength for that, and then he is totally not at all thinking about what he has to perform as a duty. So he wants to enjoy here everything is in the Pratyaksha Brahman. That means everything, whatever he is visualizing is the truth. So he is believing in that mode and then he is performing. So Vidra is trying here, he is chastising to open that means the inner eye of the Dhritarashtra. So that he has to prepare. So he wants to uplift. That is the sadhu's duty. A sadhu will always think about the other people's that is upliftment, not on the material platform, for the spiritual platform. Okay. So here, since death is inevitable, why should he accept such a humiliating portion of living? Correct, na? So he cannot avoid death. So if he can avoid death, he can survive long years. Okay, fine. But anytime he has to get ready to leave the body. So then what is the preparation he has made? So that is very important. It is better to take a right path even at the risk of death. This wonderful sentence actually. If we are not striving to take the right path. So generally, if we tell to the kids nowadays actually, spiritual path means, okay, like you people have entered at the age of 40s and 50s, we also will go and do that time only. That will be the common reply by the kids, correct na? But at the time of 40s and 50s, what are the other ailments we'll be undergoing? Taking care of the ailments of the body and then focusing on performing that is how to perform all these austerities or whatever, even Nam Japa also. Many times we'll sleep also, na? So that also will come. So if we are doing in the late nights or sometime we are very much occupied, we are not able to complete our rounds, that time we'll fall asleep also. So that type of we are under the control of body's strength. So when we are able to manage the body, that time we need to start our bhakti. So the devotional path. Otherwise, he will be failing in the, will be having more risk at the death time. So we may not be able to accomplish the thing. Human life is meant for finishing all kinds of misery. That means we have to clear all the things, whatever we have accumulated which is there in the kutam. That means in the prarabdha phase, everything we have to clear it off. So that should not be there. Even if you are having a PATs or PAT also, that also we have to surrender it to the lotus feet of the Lord. So if both the accounts are cleared only, we'll be able to enter into the kingdom of the Lord. So for that, one should develop the taste for that is performing the devotional service in a unconditional, that means haituki and apratihata, that means uninterrupted and unmotivated way. So there should not be any personal motivation. Okay, and then the practice of the bhakti should be in an uninterrupted way. So one should strive for that actually. So even Dhritarashtra is in the very old age. So he has achieved everything. He has utilized 80% of his energy. He has already done. Okay. So it is behooved him to utilize the remaining days of his miserly life for the ultimate good. At least he should perform the activities for the ultimate good of the upcoming future life. So that he has to work on that. Okay. So that he will be able to get out of these material things. Otherwise, he has to fall back here only. Gata swartam imam deham virakto mukta bandhana avijñātha ghadirchāye savaidhira utadrita. She is called undisturbed, who goes on unknown, remote place, freed from obligation, quits his material body when it becomes useless. Have I gone skipped? Right. So after taking all this chastisement, actually, now that means he will be leaving. But here the recommendation is for the dhira. So dhira, what are the three different types of yogic practices actually that we'll be studying in the next sloka? what are the three types of yogic practice? One can be a impersonalist, that is a Mayavadi, correct na? So that by the Jnana Yoga practice. Another one is Ashtanga Yoga. Another one is Karma Yoga, correct na? Without having Bhakti, that is Buddhi Yoga, one will not be able to strive the perfection. Here, Vidura is recommending for which yoga actually? Not the Bhakti. Why Vidura is not recommending Bhakti to Dhritarashtra? Can anyone tell?
He is not a pure devotee of the Lord.
Yeah, that is one thing. So first he has to cleanse is that means the way he is not a pure devotee of Lord. He is not a Bhakti Yoga practitioner also. Correct na? So that is also there. He has to cultivate knowledge actually. First he has to know who he is. He doesn't know that. So all those things he has to learn. So that's why he has been given to that. That is option is what? Only Dhira. So that's what here. Dhira means what actually? One who is not disturbed. That means fixed his mind. Correct na? So even there is a sufficient provocation. So even though there may be many disturbances also, still he is able to tolerate and then he is able to focus on the thing. Correct na? So focusing on the light like that. That is the Jnana Yoga, impersonalist. So kind of thing. He be able to practice the Jnana Yoga. One cannot give up comfortable family life due to his affectionate relation to the wife, children. Self-realization is obstructed by such undue affection for the family, and if anyone is at all able to forget such a relation, he is called undisturbed or Dhira. That means it is not that we have to forget that means in the current situation, not to the situation, I am not at all comparing with the Dhritarashtra's situation, but in our current life, we should not have expectations from the family also. We should be affectionate and then we need to support the family, but we have to do it without any expectation. So then only we'll be able to have a peaceful life. If with expectation we do, and if something goes wrong, we'll be getting into the disturbance mode. So obviously he is called undisturbed. A person who is in the undisturbed mode, even in the calamities also, is called as the Dhira. The path of renunciation based on the frustration of life, that is the impersonal thing. But stabilization of such renunciation is very, very tough. It is very tough actually. Possible only by the association with the bona fide saints. Here, Vidura being in the position of that, giving advice, like Sadhu, he is advising there. So with his association, he was able to relish actually here now. And then he goes to the forest also later. The self-realized souls by which one can be engaged in the loving devotional service of the Lord. Okay, so that one part actually, that means without the devotional service, we will not be able to complete our yogic practice. So one have to be engaged in the devotional service. So here he has been taught, since sincere surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord is possible by awakening the transcendental sense of the service. This is made possible by the association of the pure devotees of the Lord. Dhritarashtra was lucky enough because his brother is only giving that that is knowledge, and then he is being the association actually, source of liberation for his frustrated life. Okay, generally impersonal things happen because of the frustration, hatredness. Hya swakat paratho beha jata nirved atmavan hridi kritva harim gehat pravrejet sa narottama. So here narottama, that is two things. One is Dhira, another one is narottama. That is nara plus that is uttama purusha actually. So when a person is in the devotional service, I think it is only recommended for us. This is only narottama. Whereas for Dhira is not at all recommended. It is not easy, and then we need a constant that is guidance actually. Consistently we need to have a guidance from the Guru who is actually helping us to go into the Dhira position. Whereas now Uttama, that is performing the devotional service, we will be able to, in the association, we will be able to take it up, and then the guidance of the Guru. Not like a frequent, that is frequently we don't need the advice for that. Whereas seeing the other devotee, we can also learn by the association and then we can do. This is very simple. But practicing only is a tough process. Regularly doing things will be tough. So he is certainly a first class man who awakens and understands. This is a qualification of a person who is giving the knowledge actually, either by himself or from others, the falsity and misery of this material world, and thus leaves home and depends fully on the personality of God residing within his heart. So the three, as I spoken earlier, there are three types of transcendentalists. One by Dhira, one who is not disturbed being away, that is from the family association. One is the renounced order of light, leaving everything like a sannyasi by frustrated sentiment, and the sincere devotee of the Lord, okay, who awakens God consciousness by Shavanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam kind of thing, okay, completely depending on the personality of the third one only is applicable for us actually. But the first two things is very, very difficult to achieve, and we need a consistent, that is guidance actually. So the idea is that the renounced order of life after the frustrated life of sentiment, after we have lost anything, like if you think about the Dhritarashtra, he has lost everything. Even he was very much fond of everything, wherein he lost everything. So he has only hatredness now in the life left over. Still he is actually attached to the opulent, but he has not renounced it. Now he is going to renounce it actually. So by hearing from his brother. So maybe the stepping stone, it is the base, first step for the path of realization. But real perfection will be like one should strive for getting out from the root, not by the mere external changes actually. So the path of liberation is attained when one is practiced to depend fully on the Supreme Personality of God. So that comes only in the Bhakti Yoga, not in the any other yoga. So all other yogas are dependent or it can be utilized always with some expectation, the outcome of the whatever the yogic practices we do. Based on that, we'll be surviving. Will be encouraged to do. Whereas Bhakti Yoga, it is only for satisfying the Lord and for or performing the devotional service without any expectation. So this will give the purification. If you are performing the devotional service without any material kinge, that will be giving more. That is what is that? Happiness. So that means the spiritual, that is the Supreme Personality of Lord actually he will be relishing, and even we also will feel actually. So that's the only thing, and which will help us to get out of all this what is that the conditional things actually. So one may live in the darkest jungle alone out of home, but steadfast devotee knows very well that he is not alone, because always Paramatma is residing. We are always, he has never left us alone. Okay. So because of that thing, we never feel we are alone. But a person who is in the Dhyana Yoga or Jnana Yoga, whatever it may be the path, Nishkam, Karma Yoga, they always feel if they are alone, means alone only. Okay, they are always thinking. Okay, but whereas the devotee will never feel that he is alone, he or she is alone, because always Paramatma is there guiding internally. So he is within. So he can protect his sincere devotee at any awkward circumstance, at any critical situation. Lord is there to guide. So one should therefore practice the devotional service by thinking about the form of the Lord or the names of the Lord, and then the activities performed by the Lord and these pastimes of the Lord. So which will help to purify oneself. So that will give the awakening of the God consciousness. So how much ever we are sincerely practicing that, so the realizations and that is the awakening of the consciousness will happen. So it is only the total surrender actually. So there are many examples we have studied, like how Narada Maharishi attained such a Devarshi, that is after leaving the body of the that is a 5-year-old boy, that is a maid servant son, he has attained the highest level. So like that, one must strive so continuously. That means without that is with so much faith. That means the confidence, the faith. So strong faith, with strong faith they should try out. Ato chidida, ato dichim disham yatu svair ajnata gatir bhavan ito arva prayashakala pumsan guna vikarshanam. So therefore leave, please therefore leave, is advising now. Vidra is advising you leave for the north immediately. So generally why we go for north, can anyone tell? So in general, many places, actually even Narada Maharishi as a servant maid son, he also left to north, correct now? After passing through cities, towns and all those things, he reached in the forest and all. He was moving towards the north. Why generally it has been spoken towards north? In generally north means that is it is towards the Himalayas, wherein it has a holy place wherein performing the austerities, that environment is very favorable actually. That's the reason in general many, that is the devotees or whoever, whatever the yogic practices a person is going to perform, such type of the activities will be performed towards when a person goes to the north side. So it is a favorable situation there. So without letting your relatives know, so that also is giving a clear instruction. Don't go and inform Yudhishthira that you are leaving. So silently you have to do. So for soon that time will approach, which will diminish the good qualities of men. So you should not disturb others, and then silently you have to leave to the north. So go and perform the whatever the, that is dhyana, that is dhyana he is going to do now. One must compensate for life of frustration by becoming dhira. That is the first level. So very basic level. Are leaving home for good without communicating to with relatives, and Vidura advised his elder brother to adopt this way without delay, because very quickly the age of Kali was approaching. So he has to leave. So conditioned soul is already degraded by material association. But still Kali Yuga will make even more worse. That's how we are actually seeing now. The very lowest standard of life only we are actually able, day-to-day activities we are able to experience. So hence he has advised, yes, he has to live. Still he will be half survive, means again Kali, the impact of Kali also will be adding to him, correct? No? So he has to live. For everything there is a purpose, and then that has to be made. Now through Vidura, the Dhritarashtra is getting the knowledge, and then he has to take at least the, that is Sayuja Mukti, at least he is going to strive to become an Arottama, that is first class man being dependent completely on the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is not possible for an ordinary man. Correct. So he has been always dependent on the materialistic things, not on the not on Supreme Lord. So he is totally inclined towards the material platform, and hence he has been advised for that going to the tapas actually. So he is going to fix his mind, and then he is going to sit. That only we are going to see in this upcoming slokas, wherein he will be taking only water, and then the whole day, and then he'll be 3 times he'll be taking bath. With austerities he will be continuing. I think on the 5th day, I think he'll be leaving the body. So as per the advice by Vidura. So to become Narottama, that means Nara plus Uttama. So Uttama Purusha. Okay. So one must perform the devotional service. So without any, that means by totally depending on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is that is 8.68, 866 sloka na. So that is Saranagati sloka is there na. So everything, all other whatever the practices we are performing, everything we have to perform by being a God consciousness, by giving Krishna conscious actually. So and then offering whatever we are, minimum level at least, whatever the outcomes, leave it to the lotus feet of the Lord, and accepting whatever we have been blessed by the Supreme Lord. Whether it may be reversal also, or whatever the situation it may be, one must accept that. So that is the total surrender actually. Okay, persistently, and even in Sishtastakam, the last thing also, whatever way the Lord is going to take care, so you should accept it. So that attitude one must develop actually. Persistently endeavoring on the line of self-realization, so helps a person to raise the condition of Narottama from the stage of Dhira. So from that level, he is not left with the time. So he is his 80% of his life is already gone. So he is left with a very minimum level. So what is the easy method he can do? That one only he has been taught, because he has not surrendered to the Supreme Lord and he is not totally dependent on the Supreme Lord. So if that would have been there, then Vidura would have advised for the devotional service. So he has given the yogic practice actually. Okay, he has been recommended for that. The sannyasa stage is the preparatory stage of Paramahamsa, or the first grade devotee of the Lord. Okay, that's all. Evam Raja Vidure Nanuja Anujena Prajna Chakshur Bodhita Ajamida Chititva Shveshu Sneha Pashan Dridam no Nishchakrama Brathar Sandarsitadva. So they are hailing from a great family, Puru dynasty. Correct? Na? This Ajamida is one of the great, that is a king in that Puru family. Even the Dhritarashtra comes from the same family, such a higher family, that means icon of the family, Sajamida. Firmly convinced by introspect knowledge, that is prajna, broke at once on the strong network of family affection by his resolute determination. Thus, he immediately left home to set out for the path of liberation, as directed by his younger brother Vidura. So here the family background has been glorified. So this Guru dynasty being, earlier it was like a Puru dynasty, Puru, and Ajamida being the one of the famous king in that dynasty. So that dynasty has been glorified here. And now Vidura is, as per the instruction of Vidura, Dhritarashtra left home without speaking one word also. To his wife also is not speaking. That's what we are going to see here. So without seeing him at an opportune moment, we could have become a great business magnate, but never we would have been able to walk the path of liberation and be engaged in the factual service of the Lord under the instruction of his divine grace. And here is another practical example by the action of Vidura's association with the Dhritarashtra. Maharaj Dhritarashtra was tightly bound in a network of material affinities, correct now? Political, economy, family attachment, so all those things. And he has internal qualities also being with so much, what is that, in a conditional way. So he was so much greed and so much lust towards his, only his sons has to rule the country. Correct? He was not at all favoring anything to his brother's kids, all those things. So, but still, I think he had some sukriti that he got advice of his brother Vidura, okay, the sadhu. So, despite of his life of failure, he achieved the greatness of all success in self-realization. So, that is going to achieve later actually in the upcoming slokas. By the forceful instructions, he has been, that means he didn't voluntarily go and ask for the instruction what he has to do. Once Vidura came back from the yatra, he didn't speak about that. He was simply, that means what he has to perform in the future. He didn't speak about that. But Vidura only voluntarily took, okay, because he being compassionate, being a devotee, and then he gave forceful instruction actually, because straightforwardly naked truth is spoke, and then he that is, as per the instruction, wherein who is the typical emblem of a sadhu, then he left the face. So one must, therefore one should associate with sadhus only, that is in the sadhu sangha. So as a sangha, we have to do the tyaga, rejecting all other kinds of association, and by doing so one will have ample opportunity to hear sadhus. So hearing Shravanam is very important. So from Shravanam only the purification starts. If Shravanam is not there, the upcoming another next Kirtanam also will not be in a perfect way. So the Shravanam is very important. How we hear attentively, submissively, and then sincerely. This is very important. So whether the information has been spoken, maybe not that way of palatable also, but whatever has been spoken, it has to be heard in a sincere way, so which is related to our Supreme Lord, and then one must strive for that also. Shravanam. It is a fact that the material world is a great illusion, because everything appears to be tangible reality, but at the next moment evaporates like a dashing foam, correct na? So like a foam the air, that is the bubble, the soap bubble, we feel that it is visible, but within a moment it will go. That's how the life is here actually. It's a temporary. So it will come, it will be there, and then it will leave. We don't know really actually. So this a temporary appears, but in the ultimate issue, everything disappears. Correct, na? So namely the cloud, rain, green vegetation, all in due course, but the sky remains there. The clouds will form at one time. If the breeze is very forcible, that if there is a forcible breeze means all the clouds will get scattered and suddenly we can see the sunlight. And if there is no breeze is there, the rain will be pouring continuously. So everything is like it cannot be what is that? It's a coming and going, whereas the sky is permanently there. So there is no change in the sky. So like that, absolute truth which is compared to the sky, we are all the jivas. We are like this only. We are coming here when it is creation is happening. We are coming here, and then we are being maintained by the Supreme Lord, and then again at the time of annihilation also we are going inside Him. It's inside Him. So it is like a cycle. We are coming and going here. So this chain of actions it has been performed here. Whereas Lord is always there. So at the time of creation, He is the only person. After annihilation also, He is the only person here. So we have to see foolish living beings. But in spite of all these things, we are not striving to know the that is the truth about this life. And then foolishly will be behind all the material things. So what is required for the life, we are not striving. We are always striving for the extraordinary part of the life. Patim prayantam subhalakshya putri pativritha chanu jaghama sadvi himalayam nyasta dhanda prahasham manasvinam Ivasat sampraharah. So now the Gandhari is the glorification of Gandhari. We can see she being a chaste woman. So I think in Bhishma Deva's chapter also there was one point has been cited in the purport like Gandhari is like women Bhishma Deva. So that much she is very strong, and she followed the austerities actually. So he's a daughter of a King Subala of Gandhar, and she also followed her husband. He is going to Himalayan mountains. Okay, she followed her that means, and accepted the staff of the renounced order, like fighters who accepted going to lashing for the enemy. So yes, so what actually the decision made by Dhritarashtra, she is also accepting, and then she is also leaving along with him. That is the chaste way. So when Dhritarashtra leaves his body, the body also burns actually in that fire. She also takes like a sati only. She also leaves. So that much like how here Sita Devi also the daughter of the great king, but she followed her husband. That means Lord Rama she followed when Lord Ram went to the forest. Correct? Na? That time she also followed. Like that Gandhari also followed her husband. She being a chaste woman. So the glorification of Gandhari has been spoken here. So but he did not ask her. But Dhritarashtra also didn't ask her to follow. But because he was at the time fully determined, like a great warrior who faces all kind of dangers. That means he was out of fear now. Dhritarashtra is out of fear, and then whatever things happens in the forest also he is ready to face it. So one must be prepared for the death. In the way actually here Dhritarashtra has been striving for that. Na? So after getting the knowledge from Vidura, he has made up his mind and he has become strong now. So one should develop such type of quality. That means becoming brave. That means more strong out of fear. So I think when we hear classes from our NND Prabhuji also, how much ever we are not having fear, we may tell, but internally we have little fear also. Correct, na? We'll have fear. But by practicing the Bhakti Yoga, at least we will be able to an extent, we will be able to come out of the fear. So one should get out of the fear. Otherwise, we'll be always in the Maya only. So we have to for anything, we'll be always getting into fear. He was no longer attracted to so-called wife or the relatives, and decided to start. He has started alone, And the chaste lady Gandhari also decided to follow her husband. Even Vidura also leaves actually. So that time, after this, both leaves, husband and wife, he also leaves actually. The sannyasis accepted, I think, with this Ekadandi, Tridandi, that is Advaita philosophy. That means Sampradaya. That means Adi Shankara, the Sampradaya being the Ekadandi. Okay, that means it defines is the soul. So that means we are Atma, correct na? Brahmasmi. Tridandi, I think we know, correct na? So these three rods, that is Vaishnavis follows the Tridandi. So Mayavadi sannyasis are Ekadandis, whereas Vaishnava sannyasis are Tridandis actually. So the Tridandis Swamis are, that means body, mind, and whatever the words we are speaking now, that all are full, it is in the one line actually. So, and Vaishnava sannyasis are fond of Vrindavana and Puri. So our Sampradaya also is Vrindavana and Puri only. That is Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya follows. So Vrindavana and Puri Jagannath, that is very, very important dham for us actually. I think 2 times we have gone for Vrindavan, and I think 1 time for Puri. I think Yatras has been made by our Nandi Prabhuji. So we see how actually it will go in future also. Ajata Shatru, Kritam Maitro, Hutagnir, विप्रान्नात्वतीलं गोभूमि रुक्मै ग्रहं प्रविश्यतो गुरु वदनाय न चापश्यत् पित्रौ सौभलिं च. So next day morning, Yudhishthira Maharaj daily he will, before going to assembly, he will go and speak with the uncle and aunt actually. After speaking to them only, he will go for the assembly. So in that way, after getting ready to go for the assembly, he goes to the room of that is Dhritarashtra. There he finds both Dhritarashtra and Gandhari was not there. So now is Ajata Shatru. That means he never feels anyone as an enemy. There may be somebody feeling Yudhishthira as an enemy, but Maharaj Yudhishthira never felt anyone as an enemy. So his enemy was never born. That in the sense he doesn't have any enemies. So performed his daily morning duties and offering sacrifices to sun god and offering obeisances, grains, cows, land and gold to the brahmanas. That means offering that is dana, that is charity. Then he entered the palace to pay the respects to his uncle and aunt, but he could not find both of them. Okay. So then I think he'll be inquiring with Sanjaya now actually. So my Yudhishthira Maharaj, now the qualification of Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was not basically fond of to rule the kingdom because he was in the great grief that for this position only so much sacrifice, correct na? 64 crore people died in that actually, in that Mahabharat, that is the battlefield. So he was totally in that grief, and then how many births even if I take also I won't be able to get out of this sin. That's what he was feeling, even though he had been pacified by Lord Krishna and then finally by Bhishma Deva, correct na? Achitoktam and Bhishmoktam that we have studied in the earlier thing. So he has been pacified, still he was feeling, and for the namesake, that means nimitta matram, correct na? Only for as an instrument he was sitting, he was being enthroned, and then by heart he is never fond of getting attached to the kingdom. He was performing only his duty actually there. So he being a pious king, so he has personally practiced daily the pious duties for the householders. So he becoming the role model for that. So he go and offer all the things, and then he give the charity, all those things. At last offering to that is the respects to the elderly people in the family. To pay the respects, he used to go there. So at that time he was not able to visualize. The household children are taken to practice where the parents practice, and therefore the whole generation glides towards hell. Nothing good can be expected from them unless they associate with sadhus. Like Dhritarashtra, the materialistic person may take lessons from sadhu like Vidura and thus be cleansed from the effects of the modern life. So for us, the advice is we should also take the shelter of the Guru. So and then follow the guidance, whatever the given by the Guru, instructions given by the Guru to achieve the perfection in the life. Okay. So Maharaja Yudhishthira could not find in the palace his two uncles. That means Dhritarashtra also is not there. Vidura also is not there. And the daughter of the king Subala. He was anxious to see them, but therefore he asked Sanjaya, the private secretary of Dhritarashtra. So full of anxiety, he is asking, who was sitting there? Oh Sanjaya, where is our uncle who is old and blind? He is asking actually, where my uncle left, he is asking. Amba chahata putrartha pitra vyakva ghata suhrut api mayi akrita pragne hata bandhusa bharyaya asamshamana samalam gangayam dukito apatat. So, where is my well-wisher uncle Vidura and mother Gandhari, who is afflicted due to all her sons' demise? She was in a great grief. So he's asking about all the three. My uncle Dhritarashtra was very mortified due to the death of all his sons and grandsons. Undoubtedly, I am ungrateful. So he's regretting for the so much. That means the family has been everyone left. So he's feeling very bad for that. So he therefore take my offenses very seriously. He is thinking that he has done a great offense. Actually, he has waged the war as per the instruction of Lord Krishna. So it is the way war was not conducted by Pandavas. It is they have acted as per the instruction of Lord Krishna. So, but still, out of compassion. So Yudhishthira Maharaj also being a great devotee, out of compassion, he is feeling very bad about whatever the things has happened. And he is thinking about he has made a great offense. Very seriously, along with his wife, drowned himself. That means he has entered into Ganges to kill himself. Like that, he is asking actually. So he left because of that. So in that way, he is inquiring about the that is Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. So and even he'll be speaking about the Pandavas, especially Maharaja Yudhishthira and Arjuna anticipate the after effects of battle of Kurukshetra. This I think we have studied in Bhagavad Gita also first chapter, wherein Arjuna was denying to wage the war because the family, destruction in the family, that is the dynasty will happen, and then Varna Shankara will happen. How to guide, how to bring up the that is the kids, how to safeguard the women, all those things he was speaking actually. So in that way, he doesn't want to wage the war. That was the argument kept by Arjuna to Lord Shri Krishna. So he was also a great that is a devotee, and then being more compassionate only he is also speaking. So that is after effects of battle, everyone will know. Even now the world is moving towards the war also, because few countries are aligning, and then if war comes, I think again there will be so much uncertainty will take, and then getting back to the original position, it will take years together actually for any country. Correct na? So like that, now we are speaking about this battle of Kurukshetra has left that is major damage actually there. So the fight was executed by the will of the Lord. So it is not the will of the Pandavas. They were asking for the one at least five. That means even when Krishna as he was asking Duryodhana, can you give only five villages? At least they can stay there. They don't want the kingdom also. For that also, Duryodhana didn't accept. He doesn't want to give even a five pins place also. So like that much greed. And then even Dhritarashtra didn't interfere, and then he didn't recommend also. Correct na? He was actually blind towards the affection, in the name of affection or love towards his son. So here Maharaj Yudhishthira was always conscious of a great plight for his uncle Dhritarashtra and aunt Gandhari, and therefore he took all possible care of them in their old age. That is the responsibility of as a king also, as a son also. So here Yudhishthira Maharaj played a very good role, as a perfect son role he has played. When therefore he could not find both of them, he was naturally in doubt. So he conjectured that they had gone down to the water of Ganges. That was the thing. Maharaj Dhritarashtra have given up all royal facilities to live, and and in return he had killed all Dhritarashtra's sons in the Battle of Kurukshetra. As a pious man, Maharaja Yudhishthira took into account all his unavoidable misdeeds, and he never thought of the misdeeds of his uncle and company. Okay, so he has taken care in a very well way. So he never disrespected or caring and all. He has never left. So he was taking in a very rightful way. Dhritarashtra suffered the effects of his own misdeeds by the will of the Lord. So whatever sufferings has been made by, that means undergone by Dhritarashtra is because of his own actions only. The outcome of the own actions, not by the others. But Maharaj Yudhishthira was thinking only of his unavoidable misdeeds. So that is the nature of a good man, whereas a bad person will think that today's suffering by me is because of the other person. So because of him only I am suffering. Whereas a person who is in the pious or who takes the life in a dharmic way, who actually practices in the dharmic way, he will always introspect and then what went wrong and what action of mine has come to this situation. So that will be the nature of a person. So here Yudhishthira is like that, whereas the Dhritarashtra will be in a different way. Duryodhana will be in a different way. So a devotee never finds faults with others. This is a quality one must learn and tries to find his own and thus rectify them as far as possible. Yes. So this is a wonderful quality of a devotee. Pitare uparate pandau sarvana suhrudashishun akarshatham vyashanatha pitru vyayukya ghatav ita. So when my father Pandu fell down and we were all small children, these two uncles gave us protection. Now he's thinking, even though Dhritarashtra directly he didn't give any protection, because Vidura was playing the prime minister role and then he was totally managing the country. And then under the protection of Vidura, under the protection of Bhishma Deva, only Pandavas actually have been taken care. But still, the credit here Yudhishthira Maharaj is giving to Dhritarashtra because he was ruling the kingdom. So that respect as a king he has given. So in that way, he has been speaking here like these two uncles gave us protection from all kind of calamities. The calamities has been given by the sons of Dhritarashtra. So in that way, he should not be glorified. But still, Yudhishthira never felt like that and he glorified actually. They were always our good well-wishers. Alas, where they have gone from here. So he is feeling that means anxiety is in. So he's thinking where they left without informing me also. Suta uvacha kripaya sneha vaiklavayat suto vihara karshitaha atmeshwaram achakshano na paryahi patidata. So Suta Goswami is telling, because of compassion and mental agitation. So this is like whenever we are caring for someone with a love and affection, if the person is not there, 100% will be searching now. So it is a compassion. Where here Yudhishthira Maharaja being a great devotee, he is in the equipoised platform. He being a king of the, that means he is the Chakravarti of all the, under all the, this entire world, that means the boom, that is the earth planet. So everyone is Praja only. So he has such a compassion actually. So not having seen his own master, that means here, Suta, that means Sanjaya. Sanjaya being always a personal secretary to Dhritarashtra. Even he was able to visualize the war in the room of Dhritarashtra and he was giving the like a commentary, running commentary about what is happening in the war field. So he was also aggrieved actually. He could not properly reply to Maharaj Yudhishthira actually. He also a great that means devotee. In the last sloka of Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, correct na? He will be always rejoicing, thinking about the whatever the that is conversation has been had between Lord Sri Krishna and Arjuna. He will be relishing. He will be telling like that. So he is also a compassionate person. He being following religious principles and all. So in that way, here Sanjaya being the personal assistant, is on the dharmic way. He was following the religious things. So, and when he saw that at last, at least his master would have told him where he's leaving. He didn't tell anything. So he left, he didn't leave any message also. So that's why he is more in the anxiety. He left home without his knowledge, and sorrows had no bound. That means unlimited. He fell into the unlimited sorrow. He was fully compassionate toward Dhritarashtra because in the game of battle of Kurukshetra, King Dhritarashtra has lost everything. His kingdom he lost, his opulence he lost, his sons, that is family, everything he has lost actually. So because of that, he was very much compassionate towards him. He has studied the situation of in his own way because he did not know the inner vision of Dhritarashtra has been awakened. He was not aware because the lesson has been given by Vidura to Dhritarashtra. That part he is not aware, and he didn't have that vision also. That's why he is also in the great shock. Therefore, he had left the home in enthusiastic cheerfulness for the better life. Okay, after departure from the dark well of the home. So it is, that means a person who is not striving the welfare of his own future life, it's like their life is like a dark well of the home only. It is not only for the Dhritarashtra, it is for the person who is not at all visualizing is what is the what is the duty, prime duty of his life that a person has to do, and then that is a devotional service. If he is not knowing that, obviously he will be in the dark well. Unless one is convinced of the better life after renunciation of the present life, one cannot stick to the renounced order of life. He should be convinced. So if a person thinks, yes, I have to, that strong, what is that? One should have that strong willpower actually. Yes, I have to strive for this. And then no more into this. When a person enters into the Vanaprastha phase, we need to be more devoted to that type of life actually, renounced order of life. So that will help the practice in a better way and then attain the goal. So by that is, one cannot stick to the renounced order of life simply by artificial dress. Wearing outwardly sannyasi dress and internally we are not at all given up the taste of that is the material gratification, that is sense gratification. Then it is it's a external renouncement. It is not the internal renouncement actually. Okay, so one should always strive for the internal changes, not for the only external, like Mityachara. Okay. Vim drishyani rishni panibhyam vishtabhyatmanam atmana ajata shatrun pratiyuche prabho bhadav anushmaran. So then firstly slowly pacified his mind by intelligence and wiping away his tears and thinking of the feet of his master Dhritarashtra. This is for the Sanjaya. He began to reply to Maharaja Yudhishthira. So he is pacifying himself. He is accepting now, yes, my master has left. So maybe for the good cause. He doesn't know that what has happened there, but he's thinking, he's pacifying some. Sanjay uvacha naham veda vayavashtam pritrorva kulak nandana Gandharya va mahabaho musito asmi mahatmabi. Sanjaya still, my dear descendant of Guru dynasty, that means he is addressing Yudhishthira Maharaj. I have no information of the determination of your two uncles and Gandhari. So with a strong willpower, they have left. Where they have to go, they have decided and they have gone. But I don't have any idea. I have been cheated by those great souls. So he is glorifying all the three. So the great souls cheat others by astonishing to know. I think in this we can see the one. I think when Srila Prabhupada has kept the written contact, Prabhupada's wife has given to the in exchange for the coffee powder, and then when she came back and then when Prabhupada was searching for that and then he came to know that she has given for the in exchange of the coffee powder, and then he was asking whether you want me or the coffee, means she also told I want coffee. So Prabhupada took that chance and he left actually. That was astonishing thing. He took that opportunity and left actually. Okay, correct. Like that, a person who is situated in spiritual platform, or who is able to understand the purpose of the life, they will always that means make astonishing to the others like this only. And here the great souls also has astonished actually. After realization, they are great souls only. And but in fact, that great souls cheat others for a great cause, not for the smaller cause. If Srila Prabhupada has not left, today we wouldn't have read, we won't be in this platform and this great organization we are into, and then having the association of great Vaishnavas, and then getting the guidance, and then following the footprints of the acharyas. This opportunity we wouldn't have got. So one must be, we should be more grateful to the family of Srila Prabhupada, because because of their sacrifice, I think we are into this. And we are actually rejoicing this platform, actually utilizing this platform, and then have the opportunity to read the acharyas. That is whatever the knowledge he has given us for us. Correct? Now it is said that Lord Krishna also advised Yudhishthira to tell a lie before Dronacharya. Correct? Now Ashwadama died, but Yudhishthira will never tell. But he has been made one, that is elephant named Ashwatthama has been killed, and then in that way, wherein Dronacharya was not able to. Yes, Ashwatthama died, that one word only heard, and after that he is not focused only. Okay, my son has left, my son has left. He went into that bad mood. So, wherein satisfaction of the Lord is the criterion of one who is bona fide, and the highest perfection of life is to satisfy the Lord by one's occupational duty. So, without having any expectation of the outcomes of the duty, one must perform here. And even Yudhishthira also told a lie, in the sense, it is when it is named as Ashwatthama, it is a lie, but he told the elephant Ashwatthama died. So that is a truth actually. So he doesn't want to. One way he has told the truth, and another way it has been taken it as a to satisfy the Lord's instruction. Sanjaya never thought that Dhritarashtra could perform any act without consulting him. But Dhritarashtra going away from home was so confidential that it could not be disclosed even to Sanjaya. So for the higher cause, he has left. He has left actually. Sanatana Goswami also, right now, the 25% of wherein Rupa Goswami, which he has kept for the future thing, the 25% of his wealth he gave for as a bribe to the jail, that the person who is taking care of that, that is in the jail, and then he made Sanatana Goswami to escape from the jail actually. And then because of that, he was able to have the darshan of the Lord, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he got this that means the knowledge, and then later I think out on the 6 Goswamis, he is one of the predominant Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. So we also had some same opportunity to cheat the family members and leave home to engage in the service of Srimad Bhagavatam. Such cheating was necessary for the great cause. Cheating can be done for the good cause, and there is no loss for any party in that. It's a such as transcendental fraud act. Very nicely has been spoken. Ata jnana ata jagama bhagavan narada saha tumburu pratyutyati bhavidhaya sayunjo abhaya charan munim. So now, when Sanjay was speaking like that, the powerful devotee of the Lord, the chief of all the great, that is confidential devotees, being Narada Maharshi with his tambura, he appeared there actually. Because Yudhishthira will go in search of the, that is his uncles, and then what if something has happened to them and he wants to do some rituals, all those things he will be planning now. So for that, so to stop that only, here Narada Maharishi is coming and is going to give advice. So when you also have to leave, that means when you get to know that when Krishna has left to the abode, then I think you also, when that Kali Yuga will start, and then that time you also have to move towards north. So that advice he'll be giving, and no need to go in search of your uncles. So that's what the advice will be given by Narada Maharishi now. Maharaja Yudhishthira and his brothers received him properly. So receiving a sadhu is very, very important. So giving them the position to sit, and then worshipping, that is that path puja and all everything. So offering the obeisances, we have to respect the sadhu in such a manner. So Devarshi Narada is herein described as Bhagwan, duties being the most confidential devotee of the Lord, because he is going to give the instruction actually. So is the Lord and his very confidential devotees are treated. In some places also we can see Brahma being, when he's in the instruction mode. I think in the second canto we'll be seeing the creation. There Brahma and Narada, there is a conversation between Brahma and Narada Maharishi. There in one of the places Lord it has been Bhagwan has been told for Brahma also. In some situations it will be spoken, because they are all the confidential devotees of the Lord, wherein giving, that is for the upliftment of the society, correct now? So here the whatever the actions they are performing, it will be the welfare of the living entities. So such confidential devotees of the Lord are very much dear to the Lord, because they travel everywhere to preach the devotees of the Lord in different capacities. So not the same thing will be given. I think Narada Maharishi instructions we have seen earlier to Vyasadeva, Srila Vyasadeva also it has been given by Narada Maharishi. Now here he is going to give to Yudhishthira Maharaj, again in 7th canto also we will be seeing. And Dhruva Maharaj also is getting instructions. Like that, the way, or that is whatever the advices or the instructions given will be always not the same. That means the same process will not be there. It depends on the that is the devotee who is going to take it up. Even for Chitraketu also Narada Maharishi is giving in 6th canto. So they are also different. For Dhruva Maharaj is different. Like that. So it depends on the different capacities, and try their utmost to convert the non-devotees of the Lord into devotees in order to bring them to the platform of sanity. So that is very important. So sanity, that is the purification. So that's very, very important. A living being cannot be a non-devotee of the Lord, because his constitutional position is always in the devotee form only. But we are being covered by the Maya. Correct na? So your Mahamaya and internally by Yoga Maya also. So the confidential devotees of the Lord treat such illusioned living beings, and therefore they are most pleasing in the eyes of the Lord. So Lord being the father and mother of us. So when some good thing happens to us, always the mother or father, whoever it may be, they'll be happy. If our father, mother also, if we are getting some good things, means they'll be more happy. If our son or somebody is doing great things, means we also will feel happy. Like that. If it is good, it's on the spiritual platform, not on the material platform. If you are being put up in a good position in the spiritual platform, obviously we'll be assured that we'll be going back to the Godhead, and then Lord will be very happy to see us there. That's the reason this process is pleasing to the eyes of the Lord. So in the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, no one is dearer. So I think it's the sloka number 65 or 18.65. I'm not able to recollect. So he is the person who preaches about the glories of the Lord, correct now? So he is more dearer to him. There is no one dearer than him. So that's what Lord speaks there. Such personalities as Narada must be offered all due respects. So why the sadhus who speak the glorification of Lord, we are offered obeisances is this is the reason, because the sadhus come for the upliftment of the society. Okay, that's a very important thing. So and who had no other business. So their business, the main business is this only, preaching, and then making the non-devotees to devotee. That is very important to save. Otherwise, again and again the jiva will be falling down here. So again and again suffering will be there, and then there is no guarantee that again the same type of life the jiva will be getting. So all those things is a risk here. So getting back again the human form also is a risky factor. For that reason only. So always the sadhu's mercy of the guru is very, very important. So for the upliftment of the human, that is living entities. Yudhishthira uvacha naham vedam gatim pitror bhagavan kva apgata itaha ambavahata putrartha kvagata cha tapasvini. So I don't know. So he's speaking actually. Godly personality is addressing to Narada Maharishi. I don't know where my two uncles have gone, nor I can find my ascetic aunt who is grief stricken by the loss of her sons. So she being a chaste wife now. So he's glorifying the aunt actually. So she being a great soul, and then and they were in the sufferings, and where they went I don't know. Gandhar is a typical example of an ascetic because of her marvelous character in many trying situations. So at the situations many times, even though her sons being wrong mistake, that means wrong they are performing, still she was rightfully telling, advising this is not the way. So only by compassion and only by loving each other only you can have a good society. But when you are cheating others, when you are doing the wrong things and then suffering, giving suffering to others, that is not the right. So that way she possessed a marvelous character. She was ideal woman as mother, wife, ascetic, and in the history of the world, such a character in a woman is rarely found. She sacrificed the vision also, not visualizing this world. So such a sacrifice no one can make. Karna dara iva pare bhagavan para dharakshaham atha bhashe bhagavan narado muni satatma. You are like captain of a ship in a great ocean, and you can direct us to our destination. Thus addressed the godly personality Devarishi Narada, the greatest of the philosopher devotee began to speak. So here Yudhishthira Maharaj is glorifying Narada Maharishi, and he is telling he is the captain of the ship in a great ocean. That means they are in the suffering ocean, and then he has to direct to the right destination. He has to guide about where they left, what action he has to perform. So that's what he is submitting his question here. So there are 6 types of philosophies now. We have Sankhya philosophy, Patanjali, correct now? Mimamsa, all those things. In that, the greatest of all of them is that who have seen the personality of Godhead and surrendered themselves in the transcendental, that is Bhakti Yoga. Okay. Although all such pure devotees of the Lord, Devarishi Narada is the chief, and therefore he has been described herein as the greatest of all philosophers. Sankhya philosophy, more than that. Okay. Unless one has become a sufficiently learned philosopher by hearing the Vedanta philosophy from a bona fide spiritual master, one cannot be learned philosopher devotee. So one has to submissively hear the philosophy, and then only we can also, and then how we are hearing the same way we have to understand, and then how the preacher has understood in the same way we have to receive. So that sync up should be there, and then the same way you have to deliver also. So that's come from the parampara, from Krishna to Lord Brahma to Narada Maharishi, and Narada Maharishi to Vyasadeva. So now in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, we are actually relishing here from that is through by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. In this letters actually we are visualizing, correct na? A pure devotee of Lord can give us directions to the other end of Nisan. That means the permanent, that means happiness. That means to the eternal happiness he will give the path. In other end of the Nisans means Devarishi Narada used to visit the palace of Maharaja Yudhishthira because they are pious, and that's why they were able to have the darshan of Narada Maharishi. So now the world is not in that position to see the Devatas actually. So one must try to become a great devotee. That means in a purified way. So which will help them to serve the Lord. So for the upliftment of the society. So that should be the goal actually. Okay. Hare Krishna. Sorry, I have taken 15 more minutes because of lengthy purports. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah anantakoti vaishnav vrinda ki jai namacharya Haridada Tagore ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining and giving me the opportunity to serve the mission. If you have any doubts, I think you can ask me now. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranams Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, ma'am. Just a reminder that tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. will be our exam.
Okay.
And all those who have missed out, Canto 1, Chapter 1 to 5, which is the Module 1, can take it up after 9 a.m. After 9 p.m. So 8 to 9 will be Module 2, which is Chapter 6 to 10. And those who have missed out, we'll give you one more opportunity, which is tomorrow after 9 p.m. So that's the only announcement, ma'am. Sorry, I just thought I'll tell that because some messages are coming.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you all. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji. Thank you very much. Dandavat Pranam.
Pranams Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Pranam Mataji.
Can you stop?
Mataji.
Ma'am, yes,
Pranam
ma'am.
Mataji. Pranam. Thank you.